Hello everyone and welcome to another Starcraft 2 live cast. For this one, we're playing a TvT on Lost and Found. So again, a pretty good Reaper map, so let's be keeping that in the back of our head.
Not enough minerals.
Don't want to die to those Reaper all-ins. Well, if it's well executed, I don't think my build can hold against it either way.
Not enough minerals. Additional supply depots required.
Okay, barracks. To 16, we consider next one to build the command center. We have time to mine minerals first, usually.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Okay. Now we get the orbital marine. Want that non-stop marine production. Very important, as it's a tough Reaper map. Very important in general, just because I do lose to turn all ins, and sometimes one marine makes a difference.
Command center upgrade complete. Not enough minerals.
Alright. Oh, bit of lag there. ISAC. Go ahead and get the planetary.
Insufficient Vespine gas.
Oh my gosh.
Add-on complete. Command center upgrade complete. Research complete.
It's got a stage tank actually.
Our SCVs are under attack.
Not for workers, not sure. Let's put 2 in each mineral patch.
Add-on complete. Not enough minerals. Not enough energy.
I need to repair that barracks.
Not enough minerals.
I can't build here.
Not enough minerals. Our SCV is under attack. Not enough minerals. Insufficient Vespene gas. Not enough energy. Insufficient Vespene gas. Additional supply depots required.
I can't build here.
All right.
Additional supply depots required. Insufficient Vespene gas. Not enough energy. Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals. Not enough energy.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get structure armor now. And armory.
Base is under attack. SCV's command center upgrade complete. Command center upgrade. Insufficient Vespine gas. Not enough minerals. Insufficient Vespine gas. Not enough energy. Upgrade complete. Add-on
Okay.
complete.
Switching in some sensor towers for safety.
Mineral field depleted. Insufficient Vespine gas. Mineral field depleted. Upgrade complete.
We could use some
Mineral
help here.
field depleted. Mineral field depleted.
Might time to add a couple more starports.
Mineral field depleted.
I can't build here.
Mineral field depleted. Our SCVs are under attack. Command center upgrade complete. Insufficient Vespine gas. Add-on. Mineral field depleted. Insufficient Vespine gas. Base is under attack. Mineral field depleted. Your forces are under attack. Not enough minerals. Not enough energy. Not enough minerals. Upgrade complete. Not enough energy. Not enough minerals. Mineral field depleted.
Okay.
Vespine geyser exhausted. Command center upgrade complete. Base is under attack. Not enough energy. Mineral field depleted.
I can't build here.
Mineral field depleted. Vespine geyser exhausted. Not enough energy. Mineral field depleted. Vespine geyser exhausted.
I can't build here.
Okay.
That's a negatory. It's blocked.
Not enough energy. Mineral field depleted. Command center upgrade complete. Command
So he's way out of position.
forces.
Wish I had more energy. That would have been a suicide run for him.
I can't build here. I can't build here.
Yeah, I should counterattack. Let's counterattack instead.
Vespine geyser exhausted.
I didn't think he'd be off cooldown already. So used to mothership cooldown.
I can't build here.
Nuclear launch detected. Base is under attack. Unacceptable landing zone. Our SCVs are under attack. Unacceptable landing zone. Mineral field depleted. Our SCVs are under attack. Base is under attack. Base is under attack. Mineral field depleted.
I can't build here.
This vessel requires assistance.
Base is under attack. Command center upgrade. Base is under attack. Base is under attack. Vespine geyser exhausted.
There's something in the way.
Nuclear launch detected. Mineral field depleted.
I mean, we're definitely hurting him.
Your forces are under attack. Vespine geyser exhausted. Not enough. Not enough. Mineral field depleted. Your forces are under
I
attack.
can't build here.
Nuclear launch detected. Not enough energy.
I think I made that game messier than I had to. I had some poor decisions, which I can't remember off the top of my head. But if I run through this quickly, I bet I can see it.
Mineral field depleted. Mineral field depleted. Our SCVs are under attack.
Really wanted to catch him coming up one of those ramps.
Mineral
But kind of did, but not really.
Your forces are under attack.
Figured he had to go through a choke point either way. But he was scanning me, he knew where I was. He probably knew what I was up to.
Complete. Mineral field depleted. Our SCVs are under attack. Vespine geyser exhausted.
Let's get my Raven count pretty high, but
Base is on mineral field completed.
that was a good engagement.
Mineral field Vespine geyser exhausted.
He was waiting to warp out the BCs when they got low, but I interference matrixed them before they
Negatory. It's
got
blocked.
out.
Mineral command center upgrade complete.
Some nights I got too close to the BCs and just let them seeker me. One thing I should be looking for is as I'm retreating, when I see one of them start to charge, just hit him with the interference matrix on the retreat. I believe it even expends their Yamato cooldown as well. There I certainly didn't have enough energy to auto turret down these BCs. Maybe I get one if I'm lucky. Yeah,
Your
I don't think so.
forces are under attack.
So we just ate all the Yamatos when he warped back. +3. Super important versus Battlecruiser auto attack. Not helpful at all against Yamato, of course.
Vespine geyser exhausted.
Didn't see this one.
Nuclear launch detected. Our SCVs are under attack. Our SCVs are under attack. Unacceptable landing. Your forces are under attack. Mineral field. Our SCVs are under attack. Base is under mineral.
Didn't see this at all.
Base is under attack. Command center up under attack.
So the floors are more dangerous, so I want to interference matrix them. But the BCs could escape, so
Base is under attack.
actually I'm just happy to get them out of there.
Vespine. Nuclear launch.
The good news is
detected.
the offensive harass was doing well. Because we were getting beaten up a bit on the defense, and we're losing a lot of Ravens. Look at units lost. Like, if you think of all the mineral things he's killed, it hasn't been... He hasn't killed, like, 200 workers. He hasn't killed, like, 10 bases. So a lot of this 22,000 is actually gas. I would say at least half of this is Ravens dying. Which means I probably lost at least 8k gas. Because I've been basically making Ravens non-stop, and I'm only at 29. I think I've probably made at least 70 by this point.
Mineral field depleted. Mineral field depleted. Your forces Vespine geyser exhausted. Mineral field depleted.
That's pretty good. Only had 2 auto turrets left, but it was enough to wipe out his mineral line there. We did not get this command center down, but we got most of his workers now. He's down to 7 workers. We got the orbital. So he's got 1, 2, 3, 4 orbitals left. I spent 100 gas on a nuke as well. I can see the synergy between nukes and battlecruiser when I'm doing this sort of missile turret defense. BCs have to get in range of missile turrets. Missile turrets aren't good at killing battlecruisers, but they only cost minerals and they don't cost supply. Like missile turrets cost 0 supply and 0 gas, and that's pretty strong. So even just putting like 8 or 9 missile turrets at a base, yeah, the BCs can walk right through that, but maybe he'll expend Yamatos on it. Maybe it'll slow him down a bit. Maybe he'll take significant damage. Like maybe he'll lose a battlecruiser in the process of cutting in like that. Also, if he's not finding time to repair, just any damage that the battlecruisers take will be more or less permanent. So the ability to cast a nuke, clear out all the missile turrets, and then follow up by just walking over it with battlecruisers, I can get behind that. You're still trading 100 gas of the nuke for 0 gas, but the end result is that you're removing a mining base, and that's a pretty huge tempo edge, despite it not being that value intensive. Yeah, you can see a lot of these BCs are in the 2 in the deep red, under 20 hit points. And then all the rest of them have lost at least 100 hit points. So even if you were to A move through this, you can see these missile turrets aren't great because they only do 12 damage per shot, which means that gets reduced by... Oh, he doesn't have armor. Only gets reduced by 4. So it's doing 8 damage per shot, but should get reduced by 6. So it should cut the DPS of missile turrets in half. And it takes a lot of damages of 6 to kill 550 hit points. But with that said, if he just A moves through this, almost certainly he's going to lose 1 or 2 BCs just because they've taken so much previous damage. I really gotta fix my gas mining. I got 2 gas geysers doing nothing, 1 over here with only 1 worker. These 2 are doing nothing. I think my TvP is giving me practice going Raven versus Battlecruiser. In the past, I've said if your opponent goes Battlecruiser, you need to transition to the BC yourself. Use your Ravens for counterattack, and then start doing Yamato jumps, trying to snipe his BCs whenever you can with your smaller BC force. Eventually, if you want to take a full-on engagement, if you get like the 3-3 upgrades, if you catch up on upgrades and catch up on BC count, you can start using interference matrix to assist, but usually doesn't get to that point. However, now that I've been playing TvP and doing a heavy base trading style, I kind of feel like that can work versus BCs too. BCs aren't that scary. You can kill them if they make an incorrect decision. Like, so many times he was jumping all of his BCs onto my Ravens, and it paid off for him because my Ravens are always low in energy. But if he tries to jump on my Ravens and I have a lot of energy, I can throw down like 30 auto turrets, and then as soon as he comes in, he's going to be taking a ton of damage. So obviously when they have teleport available, any Raven energy you put into hurting the BCs is somewhat wasted. However, without teleport, which can happen quite often, you can actually kill them. And since we're doing a base trade sort of style, it's not mandatory to kill the BCs, you know? You just gotta be killing him more than he's killing you. And if you have a lot of missile turrets on your defense and you're constantly expanding, it can be difficult for BCs to kind of just walk over bases. Interestingly enough, next patch, Battlecruiser Yamato won't be able to two-shot a BC anymore. So it'll take three Yamatos to kill a Battlecruiser next patch. Because I believe Yamato does 240 next patch. Which is a 60 damage nerf. That seems bad. That would seem like a really bad change. That affects so many things Blizzard wasn't thinking about. I can't even remember their purpose for doing it too. They wanted to nerf Yamato because of Void Rays. They didn't want Void Rays to get one shot by Yamato. They wanted Void Rays to be a more effective counter to Battlecruiser. But I mean, Tempests are already the best counter in the game to BCs. So they already have a Stargate unit that's really good. I know it's a deeper tech, obviously, so it may not be viable against like BC Harass. But against BC Harass, you can just use Stalkers. Yeah. I guess their other mindset might be that they consider the BC to be buffed next patch. And their auto attack damage is definitely buffed by a crazy amount. It loses the random delay, which is some weird mechanic that happens in the background. So this says it shoots every 0.16 seconds, but there's actually a random delay between each shot. And for something that shoots so quickly, that's so much random delay happening that it cuts into the DPS huge. And the other thing is, Battlecruiser's next patch will be able to move and shoot at the same time. So two things are giving a very big bonus to Battlecruiser DPS. So maybe they thought, because of that, we should nerf Yamato. They didn't state that. They said specifically because they wanted Void Rays to be able to withstand a Yamato. But I think that might be a part of the reasoning. Battlecruisers will certainly be better next patch, but all the hard counters to BCs are still hard counters, right? Just because you have moving shot doesn't mean you won't get completely massacred by corruptors if you try to fight them straight up, or Tempest, so it'll still be able to kite you forever and have that huge bonus to massive damage. Infestors will still be extremely strong in that you can't get anywhere close to their infested Terrans, and Neural Parasite means that they get to teleport you to your death. And I think in terms of a late game max out, which for some reason Blizzard is a little hesitant to give Terran a strong late game, even though they have the weakest right now. I don't think the Battlecruiser is really that much better, if at all. Maybe probably even worse in the end game. I think in the end game you'd rather take a stronger Yamato over a better auto attack. I think BCs are mostly buffed for harassment style. So either like a BC rush where you quickly jump into his base and see what you can get done, or like mid-game Battlecruisers kind of go in, dig around at some stuff, Yamato, and jump away, and then repeat that process. That's just my gut feel, though. It's really hard to tell. You can play around the test server and try out the new units, but the problem is everyone on the test server is trying out new stuff, and it's not linked to your ladder account, so there's no incentive really to win or lose. So you don't get any sense of, like, you can see how the Battlecruiser performs, but you don't get to see, okay, is it viable to have a BC opener? Because no one's going to be using a standard opener or trying to win, really. People are just playing around with new units. So even if you play a lot on the test server, it's really hard to get an idea of what it's actually going to be like when these things hit the ladder. New Battlecruiser. If any of you are still watching this video, though, I do have a question for you. So the old cyclones are coming back. The ones that can lock on to, they're weaker, but they can lock onto ground units as well. And I remember facing Terrans who would just make a bunch of cyclones, move in, lock onto my planetary, move back, and then let that damage just completely wipe the planetary off the map. And it doesn't take many cyclones to do that. And I can't remember what my response was to that back in the day, or if I even did figure out a response. So if we got any longtime viewers and they remember how I dealt with these old cyclones with my planetary fortresses, I'd like to hear. Because right now, where I just kind of get ravens and rely on a planetary defense. Maybe like one siege tank was enough to shoo them away. Maybe it would involve widow mines being the answer. Don't remember. So I'm a little scared about this new cyclone. Definitely scared about the new Thor as well. Let's see how this goes. It's kind of funny, next patch, I find the Raven nerf is not the patch change that I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about all these other different changes to the different races. Even for Terran, like the Widowmine change, I feel like will be the most impactful to my game. I feel like it's going to be a pretty big buff to have Widowmines be invisible again. But yeah, Seeker Missile is doing 0 damage next patch, so no more launching off waves of them. I'll have to remove Seeker Missile from my rapid fire hotkey setup. Anyways, I've been babbled enough. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and I'm out of here. Goodbye.